Welcome to Dreamtale Sleep Stories. Tonight's reading is The Homesick Umbrella. Settle into your bed or sofa and let your shoulders, jaw, and eyelids grow heavy. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, and sigh the air away, allowing the day to fade into quiet dark. With every soft inhale, you invite fresh English phrases. With every gentle exhale, stray thoughts drift farther off. Behind my voice flows a gentle melody, renowned for guiding the mind toward deep relaxation. Keep your eyes closed or follow the captions, whichever feels right. Simply receive the rhythm and resonance of the language. Deep in rest, tonight's phrases will take root like seeds, ready to bloom into stronger English skills with the morning light. When you feel settled, hold that unhurried breath and allow yourself to drift into the tale. The Homesick Umbrella begins now. And when the story's final line has faded, the music will linger a little longer, carrying you gently deeper into sleep. The Homesick Umbrella. Umbrew was a bright blue umbrella who lived with a 10-year-old girl named Emily. Emily loved Umbrew very much. She took him everywhere when it rained. Umbrew was very happy with Emily. He kept her dry and safe from the rain and wind. One cloudy Tuesday morning, Emily's mother said, "Emily, take your umbrella today. The weather report says it will rain this afternoon." Emily picked up Umbrew and smiled. "Come on, Umbrew. We're going to the city center after school. Mom wants to buy some books at the bookstore." At school, Emily put Umbrew in her locker. She could hear the rain starting outside during her math class. Perfect timing, she thought. Umbrew will keep me dry when I go home. After school, Emily and her mother walked to the city center. The rain was getting heavier. Umbrew protected both Emily and her mother as they hurried from shop to shop. First, they went to the bookstore. Then they visited the pharmacy. Finally, they stopped at a small coffee shop called Sunny Day Cafe. The cafe was warm and cozy. Emily and her mother sat at a table near the window. Emily put Umbrew next to her chair and forgot about him. She was too busy eating chocolate cake and talking to her mother about school. "We should go now," said Emily's mother after 30 minutes. "Your father is cooking dinner tonight, and we don't want to be late." They paid for their coffee and cake, took their shopping bags, and ran to the bus stop in the rain. On the bus, Emily suddenly remembered something. "Mom, where's Umbrew?" She looked around the bus, but Umbrew was not there. "Oh no, I left him at the cafe." "Don't worry, sweetheart," said her mother. "We can go back tomorrow and get him. The cafe people will keep him safe." But Emily was very sad. She loved Umbrew, and she didn't want him to spend the night alone in a strange place. Back at the cafe, Umbrew was still leaning against Emily's chair. The other customers had gone home, and the cafe workers were cleaning up. Umbrew felt lonely and scared. Where was Emily? Why didn't she come back for him? "Hello there," said Maria, one of the cafe workers. "Someone forgot their umbrella. I'll put it in our lost and found box. Maybe they'll call tomorrow." Maria picked up Umbrew and put him in a dark box behind the counter. Umbrew felt even more alone. He missed Emily's warm hand holding his handle. He missed protecting her from the rain. He wanted to go home. The next morning, Umbrew woke up in the dark box. He could hear people talking and coffee machines working, but he couldn't see anything. The box was very small and uncomfortable. "I have to get out of here," Umbrew thought. "I have to find Emily. She must be looking for me." Umbrew tried to push the box lid with his handle, but it was too heavy. He tried to shake the box by moving back and forth, but nothing happened. He was getting very frustrated. Maria opened the box to put in a lost wallet. This was Umbrew's chance. He pushed his handle up as hard as he could. The box lid flew open, and Umbrew jumped out. "Oh," said Maria, surprised. "How did you get out of the box?" She tried to catch Umbrew, but he was too quick. He rolled across the floor and toward the front door. A customer was just leaving the cafe. Umbru quickly rolled outside before the door closed. For the first time in 24 hours, he was free. But now, Umbru had a big problem. He didn't know where Emily lived. The city was very big, and there were so many streets and buildings. How could he find her? Just then, the wind started blowing very hard. Umbru felt himself being lifted up into the air. This is it, he thought. The wind will help me find Emily. But the wind was too strong. Umbru flew over cars and buses, over shops and offices, over parks and playgrounds. Everything looked so small from up high, and he couldn't control where he was going. Finally, the wind became weaker, and Umbru landed in a busy shopping street. People were walking everywhere, carrying shopping bags and talking on their phones. None of them was Emily. Umbru felt sad and confused. The city was much bigger than he had imagined. How would he ever find Emily in such a huge place? But Umbru was a brave umbrella. He decided not to give up. I'll search every street and every building if I have to, he said to himself. Emily is somewhere in this city, and I'm going to find her. Just as Umbru was planning his search, dark clouds covered the sky. The rain was getting heavier, and people on the street were running to find shelter. Umbru saw a young businessman in an expensive suit standing at a bus stop. The man was getting completely wet because he didn't have an umbrella. I should help him, thought Umbru. That's what Emily would want me to do. Umbru rolled over to the businessman and opened himself up above the man's head. The businessman looked around, confused. Where did this umbrella come from? He asked. But he was grateful for the protection from the rain. When the man's bus arrived, he tried to take Umbru with him. But Umbru closed himself and rolled away. The businessman was surprised, but he smiled and waved goodbye. Thank you, mysterious umbrella, he called. A little further down the street, Umbru saw a young mother with a baby in a stroller. She was trying to cover the baby with a small blanket, but the rain was soaking them both. The baby was starting to cry. Umbru rolled over and positioned himself above the stroller. The mother looked around to see who was helping her, but she couldn't see anyone holding the umbrella. This is strange, she said, but I'm very thankful for the help. When they reached their destination, Umbru gently closed himself and moved away. The mother called out, "Thank you, whoever you are. You saved us from getting sick." As Umbru continued down the street, he began to feel better. Helping people felt good, just like helping Emily had always felt good. Maybe finding Emily would take time, but he could help others while he searched. Next, Umbru saw an elderly man with a walking stick trying to cross a busy street. The rain made the pavement slippery, and the old man was having trouble walking safely. Umbru opened himself and positioned his handle next to the man's walking stick, giving him extra support. Together, they crossed the street safely. The old man patted Umbru's handle and said, "You're a good umbrella. Someone taught you well." These words made Umbru think of Emily. She had always been kind to other people. She helped her classmates with homework, and she always said please and thank you to shop workers. Maybe helping others was Umbru's way of staying connected to Emily while he looked for her. As the afternoon continued, Umbru helped many more people. He protected a group of school children who were waiting for their school bus. He helped a pizza delivery man carry his boxes without getting them wet. He even helped a small dog find shelter under a shop awning. By evening, the rain had stopped, but Umbru felt tired and no closer to finding Emily. He rolled into a quiet park and found a bench to rest under. As he lay there, he wondered if Emily was looking for him too. Was she sad? Was she worried about him? Tomorrow I'll continue searching, Umbru promised himself. That's what Emily would do. The next morning, Umbru woke up feeling stiff and cold. Sleeping outside was not comfortable, and he missed his warm spot in Emily's bedroom. But he was determined to continue his search. As he rolled through the park, he heard a voice calling, "Hey there, blue umbrella, over here." Umbru looked around and saw a green trash can near the park entrance. The trash can was waving one of his handles at Umbru. "You can talk?" asked Umbru, amazed. "Of course I can talk," laughed the trash can. "My name is Binny. I've been watching you help people yesterday. That was very impressive. But you look lost. Are you okay?" Umbru felt happy to meet someone friendly. He told Binny his whole story, about Emily, about being left at the cafe, about his escape and his search. "That's a beautiful story," said Binny. "Love and loyalty are the most important things in the world. But I have to tell you, this city is enormous. Looking for one person without a plan is very difficult." "What should I do?" asked Umbru. "You need local information," said Binny. "Let me introduce you to my friends. They know this city better than anyone." Binny called out, "Hey, Lampy, come meet my new friend." A tall street lamp near the park path flickered his light. "Hello there, Umbrella. I'm Lampy. Binny told me about your situation. I might be able to help you." "Really?" asked Umbru hopefully. "I see everything that happens on my street," explained Lampy. "Every day, hundreds of people walk past me. If your Emily lives in this neighborhood, I might have seen her. What does she look like?" Umbru described Emily in detail. Her long brown hair, her bright smile, her red backpack, the way she always said thank you to him when they arrived home safely. Said Lampy thoughtfully. "There are several children who match that description. But wait, did you say she has a red backpack with a white star on it?" Yes, said Umbru excitedly. "That's Emily." "I think I know her," said Lampy. "There's a girl who walks past me every morning on her way to school. She always looks sad lately, and she keeps looking at the sky whenever there are rain clouds. She never carries an umbrella anymore." "That must be Emily," said Umbru. "She's sad because she lost me. Which way does she go?" "She comes from the residential area east of here," said Lampy. "But it's a big area with many streets and many houses. You'll need more help to find the exact location." Just then, a red mailbox nearby called out, "Did someone say they need help finding an address? That's my specialty. I'm Postman Pete, and I know every house in this district." Umbru was amazed. The city was full of helpful objects. "Can you help me find Emily's house?" he asked. "I'll need more information," said Pete. "Do you know her family name or any other details about where she lives?" Umbru thought hard. "I remember her mother talking about the new pharmacy on Maple Street when we went shopping. Emily said her house was close to Maple Street." "Maple Street," said Pete excitedly. "That's in the Riverside neighborhood. There are about 50 houses there, but it's much better than searching the whole city." "How do I get there?" asked Umbru. "It's quite far from here," said Lampy. "You'll need to cross downtown, then go over the river bridge, then through the University District. It's at least 5 miles away." 5 miles seemed like a very long distance to Umbru, but he was determined. "I can do it," he said. "I have to find Emily." "Wait," said Binny. "You don't have to do this alone. We'll help you plan the best route, and we'll ask our friends along the way to help you too." Umbru felt warm inside despite the cold morning air. He had real friends now, and they wanted to help him. Maybe he wasn't so alone after all. With directions from his new friends, Umbru began his long journey to the Riverside neighborhood. Postman Pete had given him a detailed route. First downtown, then across River Bridge, through University District, and finally to Maple Street. The downtown area was very busy and dangerous for a small umbrella. Cars and buses rushed past, and there were so many people that Umbru kept getting kicked and stepped on. Several times, people tried to pick him up and take him, but Umbru always managed to escape. As he was crossing Main Street, a strong gust of wind caught Umbru and blew him directly into the traffic. Cars honked their horns and swerved to avoid him. Umbru was terrified. He spun around and around, unable to control his direction. Just as a large truck was about to hit him, a street cleaning machine stopped and blocked the truck. The driver of the cleaning machine, an old man named George, climbed out and picked up Umbru. "Careful there, little umbrella," said George kindly. "The streets are no place for you to be rolling around alone. Are you lost?" Umbrew couldn't speak to humans the way he could speak to other objects, so he gently pushed George's hand in the direction he needed to go. "Ah, you want to go toward the river," said George, understanding. "I'm heading that way to clean the bridge walkway. Would you like a ride?" George put Umbrew safely in the back of his cleaning truck. For the first time in days, Umbrew could rest and watch the city go by without worrying about cars and people. When they reached River Bridge, George carefully placed Umbrew on the sidewalk. "Good luck, little friend," he said. "I hope you find what you're looking for." The bridge was long and windy. Halfway across, Umbrew heard a small crying sound coming from below the bridge railing. He looked down and saw a tiny kitten stuck on a narrow ledge. The kitten was wet, scared, and too frightened to move. Umbrew knew he had to help. He opened himself wide and carefully lowered his handle down to the ledge. "Grab on," he called to the kitten in object language. The kitten, whose name was Mittens, understood immediately. She climbed onto Umbrew's handle, and he slowly lifted her up to safety on the sidewalk. "Thank you so much," said Mittens gratefully. "I've been stuck down there for hours. I thought no one would ever find me." "Are you okay?" asked Umbrew. "How did you get down there?" "I was chasing a bird and climbed over the railing," Mittens explained. "But then I got scared and couldn't climb back up. My owner must be very worried about me." Umbrew felt a connection with the little cat. They were both separated from someone they loved. "I'm looking for my owner too," he said. "Her name is Emily, and she lives near Maple Street." "Emily?" said Mittens excitedly. "A girl with long brown hair and a red backpack?" "Yes. Do you know her?" Umbrew could hardly believe it. "She feeds the stray cats in my neighborhood every day," said Mittens. "She's very kind. She always brings us food and water, especially when it rains. She uses a blue umbrella." Mittens stopped and looked at Umbrew carefully. "Wait, are you that blue umbrella?" "Yes, I am," said Umbrew. "Emily has been so sad lately," said Mittens. "She comes to feed us, but she doesn't smile anymore. She keeps looking at the sky and saying, 'I hope Umbrew is safe somewhere.' She misses you very much." This news made Umbrew both happy and sad. Happy because Emily missed him and loved him, but sad because she was unhappy. "Can you take me to her?" asked Umbrew hopefully. "Of course," said Mittens. "I know exactly where she lives. Follow me." Together, Umbrew and Mittens continued across the bridge. The wind was still strong, but now Umbrew felt confident. He had a guide who knew Emily, and soon he would see her again. But their adventure was not over yet. As they reached the end of the bridge, storm clouds gathered overhead, and rain began to fall heavily. The storm came suddenly and fiercely. Rain poured down like a waterfall, and the wind howled like a wild animal. Umbrew had never experienced such terrible weather, not even when he was safely with Emily. "We need to find shelter," called Mittens over the noise of the storm. But as they looked for a safe place to hide, Umbrew saw something that made him forget about his own safety. A wedding party was standing outside the university chapel, and the bride was crying because her beautiful white dress was getting soaked. The photographer was trying to protect his expensive camera, and all the wedding guests were getting completely wet. "I have to help them," said Umbrew to Mittens. "But the storm is too strong," warned Mittens. "You could get blown away." "Emily would want me to help," said Umbrew firmly. "She always helps others when they need it." Umbrew opened himself as wide as he could and positioned himself over the bride and groom. But the storm was so powerful that he could barely stay in place. The wind kept trying to flip him inside out and blow him away. The bride looked up in amazement. "Where did this umbrella come from?" she asked. but she was grateful for the protection. The wedding photographer quickly took several pictures of the bride and groom under Umbru's protection. "These will be the most unique wedding photos ever," he said. But suddenly, an enormous gust of wind caught Umbru and lifted him high into the air. He spun around and around, unable to control his direction. Below him, he could see Mittens running and calling his name. The wind carried Umbru over buildings, over trees, over streets full of people running for shelter. He was flying higher and faster than ever before, and he was terrified. What if he was blown far away from the city? What if he never found Emily now? Just when Umbru thought he was lost forever, he crashed into something soft and bouncy. He had landed in a large tree in someone's backyard. The branches caught him safely, but now he was stuck 20 feet above the ground. From his position in the tree, Umbru could see the whole neighborhood spread out below him. There were rows of houses with gardens, small shops, and tree-lined streets. In the distance, he could see a green street sign that read Maple Street. "I'm close," thought Umbru excitedly. "Emily must be somewhere near here." But getting down from the tree seemed impossible. The branches held him tightly, and every time he tried to move, they tangled around his spokes and handle. As the storm continued, Umbru saw people running through the streets below, trying to get home before the weather got worse. Many of them didn't have umbrellas or raincoats, and they were getting soaked. Among the running figures, Umbru suddenly saw a familiar shape. A young girl with long brown hair was hurrying down the street, holding a school bag over her head for protection from the rain. Even from high up in the tree, Umbru recognized her immediately. "Emily!" he called out in object language, hoping somehow she might hear him. "Emily, I'm here!" But Emily couldn't hear him over the storm, and she couldn't see him in the tree. She ran past the backyard where Umbru was trapped and disappeared around a corner. Umbru felt desperate. Emily had been so close. She was probably almost home now, but he was still stuck in this tree. How could he get down? How could he reach her? As if in answer to his thoughts, Umbru heard a familiar small voice calling from below. "Umbru, Umbru, where are you?" It was Mittens. The brave little cat had followed him through the storm and found him. "I'm up here in the tree," Umbru called back. Mittens looked up and saw Umbru tangled in the branches. "I'm a good climber. I'll help you get down." Mittens quickly climbed up the tree to where Umbru was stuck. Her small paws were perfect for untangling the thin branches that held Umbru's spokes and handle. "There you are," said Mittens as she worked. "I was so worried when the wind carried you away. I saw you help that wedding party. That was very brave." "Thank you for coming after me," said Umbru gratefully. "I saw Emily. She ran right past this backyard just a few minutes ago." "Really?" said Mittens excitedly. "Then we're very close to her house. I told you I knew this neighborhood well." After several minutes of careful work, Mittens managed to free Umbru from the branches. Together they climbed down to the ground, though it was quite difficult for an umbrella to climb down a tree. The storm was finally beginning to calm down, but it was still raining steadily. Mittens led Umbru through several backyard gardens until they reached Maple Street. "Emily's house should be just a few blocks down this street," said Mittens. "I remember she lives in a yellow house with a red door and a small garden in front." They walked down Maple Street, looking carefully at each house. There were white houses, blue houses, green houses, but no yellow house with a red door. "Are you sure this is the right street?" asked Umbru after they had walked for 15 minutes. I think so," said Mittens, looking confused. "Maybe I made a mistake. There are several streets in this area that look very similar." Just then, they heard a voice calling from across the street. "Mittens, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you." It was an elderly woman with gray hair and a kind face. She was carrying an umbrella and wearing a raincoat. Mittens ran across the street to the woman. "Mrs. Peterson, I got lost during the storm. I was so worried about you," said Mrs. Peterson, picking up Mittens and cuddling her. "You shouldn't wander so far from home during bad weather." Umbru watched this reunion with mixed feelings. He was happy that Mittens had found her owner, but he felt lonely again. Everyone seemed to have someone who loved them, except him. Mrs. Peterson noticed Umbru lying on the sidewalk. "Oh my, someone dropped their umbrella. It's a beautiful blue one too." She walked over and picked him up. "This is my friend Umbru," Mittens explained in cat language that only other animals and objects could understand. "He's looking for his owner, a girl named Emily, who lives near here." But Mrs. Peterson couldn't understand Mittens. She just heard normal cat meowing sounds. "Don't worry, Mittens. I'll take this umbrella to the Community Lost and Found Center tomorrow. Someone must be missing it." "No, wait," Umbru wanted to say, but humans couldn't hear him speak. Mrs. Peterson carried both Mittens and Umbru to her house, which was just around the corner. It was a cozy little house with a cat door and toys scattered around the garden. Inside the house, Mrs. Peterson put Umbru in the hallway closet with several other umbrellas. "You'll be safe and dry here tonight," she said kindly. "Tomorrow I'll make sure you get back to your owner." As Mrs. Peterson closed the closet door, Umbru felt trapped again. He was probably closer to Emily than he had ever been since leaving the cafe, but now he was stuck in another dark place. "Don't worry," whispered Mittens through the closet door. "I'll help you escape tomorrow morning, and we'll continue looking for Emily together. I promise I won't give up on helping you find her." Umbru felt a little better knowing that Mittens was still his friend and would help him. But lying in the dark closet, surrounded by stranger umbrellas, he felt more homesick than ever. Somewhere in this neighborhood, Emily was probably going to sleep in her warm bed, still missing her blue umbrella. And here he was, so close but unable to reach her. "Tomorrow," Umbru promised himself, "tomorrow I will find Emily no matter what obstacles I face." Outside, the wind whispered as the rain pattered lightly against the windows. And somewhere deep in the night, Emily dreamed of all the lost umbrellas she had seen. The storm finally ended, and the first stars appeared in the clear night sky. Early the next morning, before Mrs. Peterson woke up, Mittens used her paws to open the closet door from the outside. It took her several tries, but finally the door swung open. "Good morning, Umbru," whispered Mittens. "Are you ready to continue our search?" "Yes," said Umbru, feeling refreshed and hopeful. "Today feels like a lucky day." They quietly left Mrs. Peterson's house through the cat door. The morning air was clean and fresh after the storm, and puddles reflected the blue sky everywhere. "I've been thinking about yesterday," said Mittens as they walked down the street. "I might have confused Emily Street with another one. There's a street called Maple Avenue that's parallel to Maple Street. Maybe that's where she lives." "Let's try there," said Umbru eagerly. Maple Avenue was just 2 blocks away, and it looked quite different from Maple Street. The houses were newer, and each one had a small front garden with flowers and trees. As they walked down the avenue, Umbru suddenly felt excited. Something about this street felt familiar, though he couldn't explain why. "Look," said Mittens suddenly. "There's a yellow house with a red door." They hurried toward the house. It had a beautiful garden full of roses and a mailbox that read, "The Johnson Family." In the driveway was a blue car, and next to the front door were 2 pairs of muddy boots, 1 large pair and 1 small pair. "This must be it," said Umbru, his heart beating fast with excitement. Just then, they heard voices coming from inside the house. "Emily, you need to eat breakfast before school," said a woman's voice. "I'm not very hungry, Mom," replied a familiar young voice that made Umbru's handle tremble with joy. It was Emily. "You've been sad all week, sweetheart," said the woman's voice gently. "I know you miss your umbrella, but we can buy you a new one." "I don't want a new umbrella," said Emily sadly. "I want Umbru. He was special. He kept me safe for 2 whole years, and now he's lost somewhere in the city. What if he's scared? What if someone threw him away?" Umbru's heart broke, hearing how sad Emily sounded. He wanted to rush through the door and comfort her immediately. Mrs. Peterson called this morning, continued Emily's mother. She found a blue umbrella during the storm yesterday. She's bringing it to the community center this afternoon. Maybe it's yours. Really? Said Emily, sounding hopeful for the first time. Can we go check after school? Of course, darling, but don't get your hopes too high. There are many blue umbrellas in the city. Umbrew looked at Mittens. That must be me they're talking about. But I can't wait until this afternoon. I need to get to Emily now. Look, said Mittens, pointing with her paw. Emily is coming out of the house. The front door opened, and Emily stepped outside, wearing her school uniform and carrying her red backpack with the white star. She looked exactly the same as Umbrew remembered, except her face looked sad instead of happy. Emily started walking toward the bus stop at the end of the street. As she walked, she looked up at the cloudy sky with a worried expression. It looks like it might rain again, she said to herself. I wish I had my umbrella. This was Umbrew's perfect moment. He rolled out from behind the garden fence and positioned himself directly in Emily's path. Emily stopped walking and stared at the blue umbrella on the sidewalk in front of her. Her eyes grew wide and her hands started shaking. Umbrew, she whispered, hardly daring to believe it. Is it really you? She knelt down and picked him up gently. As soon as her warm hands touched his handle, Umbrew felt complete again. He was home at last. Oh, Umbrew, Emily cried, hugging him tightly. I've missed you so much. I looked for you everywhere. I called the cafe every day, and I asked everyone if they had seen a blue umbrella. I was so worried about you. Emily was crying, but they were happy tears. She held Umbrew close and spun around in circles, laughing with joy. I'm never leaving you anywhere again, she promised. From now on, you're coming with me everywhere, even when it's not raining. I love you so much, Umbrew. At that moment, the first drops of rain began to fall from the cloudy sky. Emily looked up and smiled. The first real smile Umbrew had seen on her face since their reunion. Perfect timing, she said, opening Umbrew above both their heads. Just like old times. As they stood together under Umbrew's protective canopy, both Emily and Umbrew felt perfectly happy. The long, difficult journey was over. They were together again, and nothing would ever separate them again. From across the street, Mittens watched the reunion with a satisfied smile. Her mission was complete. She had helped bring two friends back together, and that felt wonderful. As Emily and Umbrew walked toward the bus stop, sharing stories about their time apart, though only Umbrew could actually tell his story, Umbrew realized something important. His adventure had taught him that helping others and making friends were just as important as finding his way home. He would never forget Binny, Lampy, Postman Pete, George the street cleaner, and especially Mittens. They had all helped him when he was lost and alone, and their kindness had made his journey possible. That evening, Emily sat in her bedroom with Umbrew leaning against her desk. She was doing her homework, but she kept looking over at him and smiling. Mom was so surprised when I came home with you, Emily told Umbrew. She said it was like a miracle. She called Mrs. Peterson to tell her that the blue umbrella had found its way home by itself. Umbrew listened happily to Emily's voice. Her room looked exactly the same as he remembered. The pink bedspread, the bookshelf full of stories, the window that looked out over the garden. I have so much to tell you, Emily continued. Every day you were gone, I thought about you. I wondered if you were safe, if you were helping other people the way you always helped me. I hoped someone kind was taking care of you. If only Emily knew how true her hopes had been. Umbrew had indeed been helping people, and kind friends had taken care of him along the way. Tomorrow is Saturday, said Emily excitedly. No school, we can spend the whole day together. Would you like that, Umbrew? Umbrew would have nodded if he could. There was nothing he wanted more than to spend time with Emily again. Emily's mother knocked on the bedroom door. Emily, dinner is ready, and there's someone here who wants to meet Umbrew. Emily picked up Umbrew and carried him to the living room. There, sitting on the couch, was Mrs. Peterson holding Mittens. "This is the lady I told you about," said Emily's mother. "Peterson found Umbrew during the storm yesterday. Isn't that amazing?" "Hello, Emily," said Mrs. Peterson kindly. "I'm so happy your umbrella found his way back to you. It's quite mysterious how he appeared on your street this morning. My cat Mittens seemed very interested in him yesterday evening." Mittens looked at Umbrew and winked one eye. Only Umbrew could see it. Their secret was safe. "Thank you for taking care of him," said Emily politely. "I'm very grateful." "It was my pleasure," said Mrs. Peterson. "Mittens and I love helping reunite friends. Speaking of which, Mittens has been visiting your street quite often lately. I think she likes the food you leave out for the stray cats." "I love taking care of animals," said Emily, "especially when it's raining. I always worry about cats and dogs getting cold and wet." Umbrew felt proud of Emily. She was just as kind and caring as he had always known her to be. After Mrs. Peterson and Mittens left, Emily and her parents had dinner together. Emily told them all about her week without Umbrew, how worried she had been, and how happy she felt now that he was back. "I learned something important this week," Emily said thoughtfully. "I realized how much Umbrew means to me. He's not just an umbrella, he's my friend. He's always protected me and kept me safe, and I never want to lose him again." "That's a beautiful way to think about it," said Emily's father. "Taking care of our belongings shows respect and gratitude." That night, Emily put Umbrew in his special corner next to her bed, just like she always used to do. "Good night, Umbrew," she said softly. "Sweet dreams. Tomorrow we'll have new adventures together." As Emily fell asleep, Umbrew thought about his incredible journey. He had been lost, scared, and lonely, but he had also discovered strength he didn't know he had. He had made wonderful friends, helped many people, and learned that the world was full of kindness. Most importantly, he had learned that love could overcome any distance. Even when he and Emily were apart, their love for each other had brought them back together. Now, safe in Emily's room, listening to her peaceful breathing, Umbrew felt grateful for everything. The adventure, the friends, the lessons learned, and especially for this moment of perfect happiness. Outside, rain began to fall gently on the roof. Umbrew smiled to himself, knowing that tomorrow he would have the joy of protecting Emily from the rain once again. There was no place in the world he would rather be. 6 months later, Emily and Umbrew had settled back into their happy routine. Every rainy day, they went on new adventures together, to the library, to the park, to visit friends and family. But now, their adventures were different. Emily had learned from Umbrew's experience that helping others was one of the most important things in life. Whenever they saw someone who needed help on a rainy day, Emily would share Umbrew with them. They helped elderly people cross wet streets safely. They protected mothers with babies from sudden showers. They even helped other children who had forgotten their umbrellas at school. Emily never knew that Umbrew could talk to other objects, but she noticed that he seemed happiest when they were helping others. "You're a very generous umbrella, Umbrew," she would say. "You love taking care of people, just like I do." One day, while walking through the park where Umbrew had first met Binny, Emily stopped to throw away some litter. As she approached the familiar green trash can, Umbrew felt excited to see his old friend again. "Hello again, Umbrew," Binny whispered in object language while Emily wasn't looking. "I'm so happy to see you found your way home." "Thank you for all your help," Umbrew whispered back. "I could never have done it without you and the other friends we made." "That's what friends are for," said Binny cheerfully. "And look how much good you've done since you returned. I see you and Emily helping people in the park all the time. You're spreading kindness everywhere you go." Emily finished cleaning up the litter and picked up Umbrew again. "Come on, Umbrew, let's go home and plan our weekend adventure." As they walked away, Umbrew felt completely content. He had learned that home wasn't just a place, it was being with someone who loved you. And love wasn't just receiving care, it was giving care to others too. Emily looked up at the cloudy sky and smiled. "I think it might rain this weekend," she said happily. "That means we'll have the perfect weather for helping people and having adventures together." Umbrew couldn't agree more. Rain meant adventure, rain meant being useful, and rain meant spending special time with Emily. What more could a homesick umbrella ask for? As they walked home together, neither Emily nor Umbrew noticed the small tabby cat following them at a distance, purring contentedly. Mittens liked to check on her friends sometimes, just to make sure they were still happy. And they were. They were very happy indeed.